One, two, three, one, two, three, one, two, three. Time to test if my thing works. Right? So, I don't actually have anyone at the moment, but if anyone ever decides to look back at this, welcome. This is me. I'm looking to essentially create a little bit of a devlog stream. I'm getting into game development and yeah, I just want to see if I can like create a little something. Now, I am actually trying to see if I can be seen. Oh, I can. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. Not that bad. Okay, cool. So, the stream is actually working. That's a good start. That's a very good start. Um, yeah, okay, so I'll do a little introduction. Hi, Terra Phoenix is my username, I suppose. Um, I don't know exactly why I chose the name, except for the fact that I really like phoenixes, and Terra Phoenix seemed to roll off the tongue a little bit nicely for me. So, yeah, that's me. um, that's the one that I've chosen. Now, what I'm essentially aiming to do is create a game in Godot, or it could be Unity, it could be Unreal Engine, but Godot is the engine that I and my friends have chosen. We're kind of all looking to create the same game, but at the moment we're kind of doing our own individual things as we're just kind of learning and yeah, just going along. Um, now, so what I've got here is, my little absolutely terrible clashing arts map and little game. It's not even a game yet. All it is literally just a character that you can like move around. I've got a little animation where you can, he flips back and forth as he moves, but that's about it. It's not even an animation, it's just a flip. But, welcome. This is me. So, I might as well get into it. The thing that I've been trying to create is a game, or that I am trying to create is a game based off of the Odyssey. Um, and specifically based off of the epic, the musical storyline of the Odyssey. So that's a series of songs that's up on like Spotify or on YouTube, and you can look it up, and it is awesome. Like you can just follow along with the story as you progress through the songs. It is so cool. It's like an audiobook in audio in song format. I've got a lot of this kind of on the YouTube channel. I've got a YouTube channel now, so I'm kind of saying the same stuff as that. But this is my first time on Twitch, so that's me. Um, Now, what can I? Alright, let's see if we can learn a thing or two in Godot. Now, I have a character, this little guy here. I have a single map. Now, I think the next thing that I actually want to be able to do is create a weapon. So the idea, if I bring up my little notepad, so, oh, why have I got two? I've got two tabs open on the same thing. So essentially what I'm trying to do is create a top-down hack and slash with multiple party members, so the player can command tactically with a god view or jump into a character and fight on the battlefield. That's kind of, so if you think like Brotato or I don't know, Brotato is kind of like the one that I'm thinking of at the moment, but that's sort of what I'm looking to create at the moment. And so essentially, yeah, you've got like a view, a large view outside that you can like think maybe like Age of Empires. You can command your troops, and then if you want, you can like jump in and control one of your characters um, as you wish. Essentially, each character will follow a particular archetype throughout the story, except Odysseus. He's the main character. He's a warrior of the mind, meaning he can respec into any of the skill trees between battles. And then throughout the story, Odysseus will lose party members, but he will get stronger as he progresses as well, and you can kind of traverse through the skill tree. So that's my aim. That's the aim of the game there. Um, at the moment, all I want to do is just try and create a weapon. So I suppose I shall get into that. Now, I do have the sprite sheets here. So Tiny Dungeon tiles, I am looking for probably just a sword. The aim here is basically just to have this little sword kind of follow the character around. So wherever the mouse is pointing, I want the sword to be pointing in that direction. So you can move around with WSAD and just get the sword kind of in a circular pattern around the guy. Now, how to do that? I have no idea. I'm sure I'll figure it out. First thing first, I will need to create a scene. So I'll create a new folder in here, essentially just weapons. There. Now create new scene. There we go. Sword. Easy. 2D scene. And I want my sprite. I completely lost it, so let's go have a look for it again. That actually I think is a dagger. There's the sword. You know what? We'll start with the dagger. That's nice and easy. So we've got our sword root tile, we've got our dagger here. Make sure that that's at transform 0, 0, because I like to be pedantic about that. 0, 0 there. So the dagger is currently centralized right there. So, dagger. Or actually, nah, let's just call it sprite 2D. Sprite 2D. And the whole thing is called a dagger. Now, how do I actually want to work this? So, all it needs is just the sprite, isn't it? Because the character I've got so far, all he's done, he's just a sprite and a camera, and the camera is just so that I can follow him around as he moves around. The camera is centered on him, and since at the moment it's the only camera in the scene, it's the one that, you know, your camera will kind of just, or that your screen will focus on. I imagine as development goes on, then there'll be multiple possible cameras, and you have to somehow select which one's going to be the main camera. I don't know how to do that yet. I will learn that as that comes up, but for now, let's just create our dagger. Weapons. I'm just going to rename that to dagger.tscn, and I will need to attach a script to it. Attach script. Dagger.godot. Easy. Do I need anything when it's ready? Not yet, I think. I think for now, all I will need is to... what is the script actually going to be? So when I mouse click, I want the dagger to move forward in the direction it's facing. That's probably the main thing. It will also need a character to attach to. So it could either be that the character owns the dagger, or the dagger just links to the character. I think it's going to be the dagger links to the character. The reason for that is because a dagger or like a weapon could just be on the ground by itself, and it won't actually need anything that it won't need to be attached to a character. It could just be a pickup, and once the character kind of steps onto it, then that's the dagger picked up. Although then again, that could be something else entirely. That might be thinking too far into it. The other option is that the character owns the dagger, and when I do want to do something like a pickup, then I will need to create another thing just called a pickup, and that will create a dagger in the character's inventory. Honestly, that might be the way to go. So maybe the character owns the dagger, and the dagger will need to reference the parent. Can the dagger reference the parent? That is something I want to know. Google. You know what? I'm actually not going to do that. Can the dagger... you know what? Let's make it a new profile. That way. So if I... Other profiles. Set up new work profile? Is that the way to go? Sign into sync data. There we go. Can't actually remember which one my... Do I even have Chrome on here? No, I don't. No, that did not work. Okay, let me try this one. Sign into sync data. Game dev. Can't even remember my own email. Oh, is that because I've opened up like a work? No? One more time. Actually, easiest way. Let's just go to mail because I honestly cannot remember which one. Oh, it's .gamedev. Okay, cool. Let me, apologies. I am just trying to make it so that I actually have a web profile that I can use on the stream. gamedev@gmail.com. Let's try that. Yeah, there we go. Of course you need my birthday. Alright. Nearly done. Dude. Come on. Just trying to send a verification email. Is it going to come in? No. Ay, ay, ay. Alright. While that is coming in, I essentially want... What was I even wanting to search up? I wanted to search up whether... There we go. So I wanted to search up whether... Can you attach entities or scene to a parent scene in Godot? Nodes and scene instances. Add child to root. Maybe not attach. How to reference. How to reference parent scene. Node.getNode, but the child node must be present in the scene. That is to get a child though. GetParent.sceneRoot. Okay, so it's easier for a parent to reference a child than it is for a child to reference a parent, which makes sense. That does make sense. So how to attach the dagger to the character. If I go into the script, I can have an export node 2D. Yeah, it is a node 2D. Weapon. I'm gonna see how that goes. Unexpected identifier in class body. What are you talking about? Var. Expected end of statement after variable found. Equals null. Oh, wait. Node 2D. Oh, wait. Export var weapon, and then it's a node 2D. That's how it works, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. There we go. We have our we have a weapon. Okay, so if I go to Odysseus now, he now has a weapon that I can assign from the scene. So if I save my dagger, which is a simple Node 2D with a sprite, I bring that into the scene. I can then not make it a child, but I have to... Oh, wait, hold on. No, get rid of that. Delete no dagger. Yes, I do. I don't want it in the character. I want it in the map. So, if I go to the map, I've got my little character here. I've got my awful art. Well, not even my art. It's, you know, Forgotten Adventures. It's just a D&D battle map that I'm using for the moment just as a background. Okay, bring my bring my dagger into the scene. You're a Godot expert. Yo, nice. I'm a Godot beginner. Welcome. If you have any tips, I would love it. Because, yeah, I'm literally just trying to begin things out here. All I'm essentially trying to do, or all I'm trying to figure out at the moment, is I want my character to have... So, essentially, where the mouse goes, I want that weapon to be following the character in a circle. So the weapon will be pointing out to the right, for example, if the mouse is here, comes around to the left, and it's essentially just, you know, the dagger is just pointing where the character is, or pointing to the mouse. That is my goal for tonight. It is very simple, I know, especially for a Godot expert. I'm sure, like, you're looking at it being like, oh, I can do this in like 3 lines. But this is me trying to figure it out. But yeah, so I'm thinking at the moment essentially the character is going to be having a weapon assigned to them. So if I go back to Odysseus, assign the dagger to him, so now he can actually somehow... So he has the dagger. If I go into his script, so he's got a weapon. Function ready, void. I'm going to say that for now, I think. I'm guessing that during the process... during the process function, each tick I'm going to be wanting to check the location of the mouse. So that's probably going to be my first thing. Oh, no 2D, var, what is it? Cursor location equals null. And then in my ready, probably don't even need, you know what, I'll do it in my ready function just to be. How do I get the cursor location? Cursor location Godot. Customizing the mouse cursor, that's not what I'm trying to do. I am just trying to get the position. Get global mouse position. Extends no 2D. No 2D works because get global mouse position is a canvas 107 item function. Oh, so it could just be as simple as that. So cursor location equals get global mouse position. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put a label on here to try and see if I can do I want the global mouse position or do I want the local mouse position? Is there a mouse position? Yeah, okay, so there's a local and there's a global. I'm gonna say global for now just to see what comes up. I'm also gonna go add export var, and I'm just gonna say what's it called? Coordinates. And I'm gonna make it a label. So in here, function ready void. In my example map, I want to add a child node. I'm going to create a label. I'm going to put it. Oh, how am I even going to? How am I going to get that to follow the character? That's a question that I can. I'll put it down here so that for now I can just kind of see where it is. And so for Odysseus, I'm going to need to assign the label. So now Odysseus has a label and a weapon assigned to him. That label is currently empty, but in my process, so Odysseus, there, cursor location equals get global mouse position. If label, if coords. How do I check if it's not null? Not equal to null? You know what? That's probably. I am not too familiar with GDScript just yet, but I'm not sure if it initializes it to null or if it initializes. Can I initialize it to null? Equals null. And equals null. I'm not sure if that's gonna undo assigning though. So if I go back to here, 2D, Odysseus, no 2D, wait, where is, oh, is it just straight up gone? Okay, it looks like it's gone, so I think I might need to not initialize it to null, because that doesn't seem to work. I've lost my things. Oh, where's my weapon? Where's my... how do I... What? Okay, I've exported a weapon, and I've exported coordinates. Oh, wait, hold on. It's got an error. That's why. Yeah, okay. Good call. um, if coordinates are not equal to null, then I want to essentially set the text of the label. So um, coords dot text equals. I'm just going to give it some random string for now. Hi there. Actually, can I give it... Does GDScript have interpolation? GDScript strings. Oop, that didn't work. String interpolation. There we go. It does offer a feature called format strings, which allows reusing text templates. So equals format string. We're waiting for s. Oh, that doesn't sound like don't think that's quite what I'm looking for. Maybe. Hi there, and I'll try to give it cursor location dot x. So x is that plus y is cursor location dot y. Example map. Okay, thank goodness. I do have my weapon and my coordinates again. Now, is that all I need to do for now? If coordinates not equal to null, coordinates.text. Actually, you know what? I probably don't even need the x I don't need that check for now. If I do need the check, then I'll find out. Cursor location. Let's give it a go. So, nope, something broke. Invalid operations. Operand string and float in operator plus. Okay, so I can't do it that way. GDScript formatting string. Format string. Okay, so it is placeholders essentially. So if I go S and Y, is this gonna work? Maybe not. Replaces all occurrences of a key in the string with a corresponding value. Arrays can be used as a key, index, or mined. Multiple placeholders. Format strings may contain multiple placeholders. In such a case... Oh, hold on. What have you got? XS... You know what? I'm going to copy paste that. Okay, so that's... Perfect. Okay, that is the multiple placeholders part that I was just about to read. Awesome, thank you. Let's try that again. So, example map, F6. Hey, there we go. We have coordinates, and these are, so if I move, they do move with me. Okay, so these are definitely global coordinates, which means if I... Okay. Now, if I go get local, mouse position, 2D, F6. Ah, that is awesome. That's interesting. It changes as I move. So it like starts off... Okay, so center is 0, 0. Okay, so it's according to the character. And then as the character moves around, for some reason the mouse position moves around as well. It's probably because... So if I So I'm changing the position here. What if I did it this way? So I had the position there, save that, and then F6. Yeah, okay, so I could get the mouse position first, um, and then it won't actually change as I change position. Cool. I didn't realize that would actually matter. Alright, so I've got a character moving around. I have um, I've got local coordinates. Now I need the dagger to point to those local coordinates. Now that's probably gonna use a little bit of math, isn't it? Because the first thing that we're gonna need is the angle that the dagger is actually facing. And that's gonna be like, so here it's gonna be 0. Here at 180 degrees it's gonna be pi. So that's gonna be based off of, okay, so that's gonna be using cosines. Cosines or sines, one of the two. Because we got our x and our y, and so from that we're going to be needing. Okay. Oh my gosh, it's been a while since I've actually done cosines and sines, triangles. So we've got our x and we have our y. We need our radians, so our angle. Var angle equals, and oh my gosh, I've completely forgotten about cosine and sine. Get angle in radians. Actually, does GD, does it use, it uses angles and radians by default, doesn't it? From x and y. Good old maths. Trigonometry. Alright, I'm gonna actually try and get myself a nice here. Because I might not actually be doing anything in the main Godot stuff for a little bit. Trig basics, you know what? Let's just go back to basics. Basic trigonometry. That's right, SOHCAHTOA. So sine is opposite over hypotenuse, cosine is, and so what I've got is I've got the opposite and the adjacent, so I'm using tan actually, and I'm going to be using tan -1 to find the angle. Oh my gosh, I need to write this down somewhere. Notes? What is this? No, that's a whole. That's my initial attempt at a stream notes. Trig. So what? It's tan theta. You know what? I'll use O as theta. Equals adjacent TOA. So opposite over adjacent. Therefore, the theta is literally, yeah, just tan -1 opposite over adjacent. So the angle that I'm looking for, oh, is that even the right angle that I'm wanting though? There's a lot of built-in functions, so you don't need to use math. That's true, but which functions would I use to point, to rotate the sword towards the cursor? Search help. You know what? So rotate towards, maybe? No. Towards. Oh, there is a rotate towards. Rounds X to the nearest hole with halfway cases rounded away from... that's not what I'm looking for. Rotates from, toward, to by the delta amount. Will not go past 2. Oh, so that's actually... that's using delta, though. Look at? Oh, okay. What have we got here? Look at, rotates the node so that it's local, plus X axis points towards the point, which is expected to use global coordinates. Point should not be the same as the node's position, otherwise the node always looks to the right. Wait, is there a look at local? Script. Dagger. Maybe I do. Oh, maybe I do want the. No, it should be fine for now. Player character. So dot look at, and the point is the global position. Oh, that's actually fair though, because if I just get the global mouse position, then that should work. Look at cursor location. Is that actually going to be all it needs? So I can get rid of that text now. I know what's going on there. Position moves to the direction and speed. You want the dagger to point to the right. Ah, so right counts as 0. Is that right? That would make sense. Or, why does that make sense, actually? You know what? I can worry about that some other time. X plus is forward. Okay. Cool. Sprite 2D rotation 90. So if I start there, it is facing that way. And if I go to F6, oh, that is perfect. Yo, nice. Okay, so that gets the that is so cool. That's actually really simple as well. A one-liner or a two-liner. Very nice. Thank you. That has saved me quite a bit of time probably trying to figure out math. Okay, so we've got our mouse looking at the global mouse position, and the next thing that we actually want is the weapon to literally be at if it's looking at that position, then we know what the rotation is. So we want it to essentially just move toward or be placed some distance in that direction from the character, which would actually be relatively easy as well, isn't it? So we have the character at 0, 0, local. Ooh, do we need the global position of the character? I kind of hope not. Weapon dot position plus equals, and I want the angle of, so weapon dot rotation dot normalize. Is that a thing? Dot? No? Why is that not doing anything? Set it to the player's position plus some offset dot rotated. Sword rotation. That's a good point, actually. Yeah. Equals position plus. Why is that? Oh, You know what? Let's weapon dot rotation. I want normalize. Where is normalize? Normalize? I could swear that was a function somewhere. Surely. No. Search. Normalize. Not noise texture. I want just the position. Plane. Vector 2. Okay, here. Finding normalized. Yes, that is literally there. Returns the result of scaling the vector 2 unit length. So that is there. Why did that? Hold on. Oh wait, it's rotation. It's not the right. It's weapon dot normalize. Weapon dot position. No. What have we got? Position plus some offset dot rotated. So if I get a vector in some direction and then I rotate it in another direction, vector 2 50 0. Yeah. Okay. So let's try that. Right. I see what you mean. So plus, yeah, let's just say that. So vector 2. And yeah, you were saying that 50 or x is the 0, so 50 0 dot rotated and weapon dot rotation. And that's probably all it needs, isn't it? Oh my gosh, what is going on? Have I got two weapons? Oh no, it's because... Oh, I see. Um, because it doesn't actually know which angle to go with, so when I get closer... No. Is that the reason? It's splitting that one weapon up into both. Why is that happening? So when I get closer... Oh, the rotation of the sword changes when I come right next to the sword. So I want... Does it? Yeah, okay. So I don't want it at the sword's rotation. I want it at the position that the mouse is from the character. Oh, that's kind of funny. So as soon as I go right next to the sword, then the sword is kind of like, okay, I'm pointing that way, now I'm pointing that way, now I'm pointing that way. So rotated, and I want the... Get global mouse position. Can I also get the global position? Or global position? Okay. The Godot way of doing this. There's a Godot way of doing it. Is just move the sword in its scene. Is that right? So the dagger... If you move the sprite 50 pixels to the right... Oh... So if that's just positioned, X is 50. If I have a look at that. And so that's actually positioned away from there. And all it needs to do is just look, yeah, position it at the player position and just look at the mouse. That is clever. That is clever. Okay. So weapon position goes away. all I'm doing is weapon look at, and that's actually just going to 2D F6. Oh, why is that not? Oh, I do need the position still to be updating. My bad. There is position. Every update. And so I go back to that. And then when I'm close, then it actually just... That's cool. Nice. And so I guess the collision box of the weapon is actually just straight up 50 is too much. I'm gonna put that down. Dagger. Let's make it 20 maybe. Try that. Yeah, there we go. Now the dagger is moving around, so that's going to be... That's because the person is updating and then the dagger isn't following, but... That's like the real Godot expert way. No math, just notes. I love it. That's actually awesome. And so the collision box of the dagger is actually going to be on the sprite itself again as well, isn't it? And so once the dagger actually... Because, yeah, essentially what I'm wanting to do is that when I click, then the dagger will just straight up move towards it. Very simple. And that's kind of like how you attack, is like once it's moving forward and back, maybe as it's moving back as well, that's when it's kind of trying to collide with an enemy. Nice. So let's go to the script. Is 20 a good... yeah, 20 does. I'm going to put it even less actually, a little bit. Maybe like 15. That's not the right scene. Haha, my bad. I could set the main scene. I probably should. You know what? I might as well do that right now. Okay, that works. I've just got my script ordering a little bit wrong somewhere. Select current. There we go. Okay. I'll see if I can fix up the script a little bit. Because that weapon position is not working. Why? It's because the weapon position is updating and then the position is updating. So I want that to be the other way around, I think. So I want the position to update and then I want the weapon position to update. Yeah, there we go. That's nicer. That is really clever, actually. Literally just offset the dagger in the direction that you want it to go. That's really cool. Okay, so that is a character and that is a weapon. And I suppose the next part is I want to see if I can actually get it to attack. So when... And that'll be part of the daggers script, won't it? Like, does the... Actually, does this position script even want to be on the character? When the weapon is selected, the character points his weapon in that direction? Or is it the weapon just points itself in that direction? I'll probably worry about that later. Bring up some tech debt. No worries. Depends on the game. You might have weapons that can't be aimed like that. That's a good point, in which case the weapon would probably want to be the one that aims itself, isn't it? Do I have any plans to make a weapon like that where it is aimed in a different way? Probably, so I probably do want to move this to the dagger script, don't I? Okay. So if I've got the player character and I have the cursor location, get global mouse position. I wonder if I can literally just grab that. And the weapon position, updating, that can probably stay with the character. For now, at least. So, oh, what have I done? Do I even need that anymore? I probably don't. Not for now. Weapon dot position. No, that can stay. And here, and I just want to look at the cursor location. Does that work? That does still work. That's nice. And so in this way, the weapon itself is deciding where it wants to go based on where it is currently. And then when it, say, fires or attacks, then it can do whatever it wants, essentially. Okay, cool. I like that. Now, attacking. So, I guess for... You know what? I'll make a new function for now. Just see what I can do. Func. Attack! When it's attacking, all I really want it to do is just move in the direction that it's looking. So I want to look at cursor location, Odysseus. I kind of just want it to move in its own direction. So how do I move it? Ah, actually I probably just need, like... Have I animated anything before? The animation player node is pretty useful. I have not. So this is about, like, the extent of my knowledge in Godot so far, is essentially like placing nodes, trying to connect things, making a script. I've animated a little bit in Unity. I can't really remember anything about it. But I can definitely give it a go. So if I'm... So I've got my dagger. What have we got? Animation player. Keyframe every single property. What do you mean by keyframe every single property? What does keyframing even mean? Keyframe is a frame in which a complete image is stored in the data stream. So it's essentially a single frame in the animation. Is that correct? Is that what I'm understanding? So if we've got the animation player, it's like telling the animation to do something on a frame. Okay. Speed scale. I might need to learn how to use an animation player. Search help. No, I don't want search help. I want online docs. That didn't help. That just takes me to the entire... You have the animation doc on the bottom now, so that's that part there. Cool. Now... If you click animation, there is a new animation thing. Alright, new animation. Let's call it stab. Easy. Oh, this is what you mean by keyframing. So you've got... I think I might slightly remember this now. So like this is the initial keyframe. How do I actually add a keyframe? Do autoplay on load, enable onion, pin animation player. That's not it. Look at the inspector now. All of them have a key item. Oh, oh, I see. Playback options. Clicking that adds a keyframe of that property with that value. So if I go back to the dagger, do these have keys as well? They do. Okay. So if I keyframe that, do that for the sprite's position. Sprite's position or the dagger's? No, you're right. The sprite's position, isn't it? Um, yeah, that's a good point. So the dagger is staying, or the dagger itself is staying where it is, but the sprite wants to move. So the sprite's position, I want a keyframe for that. Do I want Bezier curves? You know what? Why not? I don't know what a reset track is. Then the animation will be relative to the root node's position. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Hold shift when clicking the key icon to skip this dialogue. I don't really want to skip the dialogue yet. Do you know what a reset track is? I think I understand what a Bezier curve is. It's essentially just making sure that it's kind of nicely... It speeds up and then it slows down at the end, right? But I don't know what a reset track is. Bezier curve. Animation actually sets the properties in the... Yeah. Okay, I'm going to give it a go. So it's there, and then if I move... Oh. Play. So after 1 second it gets to there. How do I set... Okay. So let's say I move it to 30, for example. No, that doesn't work. So I want to create a new keyframe. It plays when the game launches, resetting all the properties you want to reset. Okay, so I don't actually want it to... If you have a reset track, it plays when the game launches, resetting all the properties you want to reset. Not sure I understand that one. It's essentially, you'd want your reset animation to set the dagger's position to 15 again. Okay, so when the... Ah, right. So if I run the game now, for example. Oh my gosh. Ah, right, I've got an empty function. That can go. Save. Unable to write, file is in use, locked or lacking permissions. Oh my gosh, what have I done? Is this because of the animations? I haven't touched. The game is still running. Oh, fair. So if I save now, save scene. No. What is locking? It is still running. Pause running project, stop it. Interesting. That doesn't look to be at 21. What's the position of that dagger? It's at 21 at the moment. So if I move that to 47, for example, and I save that, and I run the game. So that's not at that. What if I just run the... Check out the reset animation. Select an animation player node. I want that one. So the reset animation is currently at position X. Oh, the dagger's moved back. So if the position is there, and I save that, and I go F6, That does not help. uh, Animation player, F5. So that still keeps the thing there. You have a drop down thing of all the animations in the middle. That's this one here. Oh. Oh, so they're two different animations? Hmm. You know what? I will probably look. Reset gets played when the game starts. So reset. So the reset animation only gets played once. And you created a reset track of its position being 15 and 0. Right. So the reset gets played once and then that's it. And then the stab animation can be played whenever it gets triggered, essentially. Is that, do I understand that correctly? So you don't have to reset every property back yourself after you've played animations in the editor. Oh, I see. Okay, that actually kind of makes sense. So it's essentially just an initial, yeah, it's an initial state. It's a reset state um, that plays every time you play the game. Okay, okay. I think I get it now. So I do want that reset state, essentially. And then the stab animation, I want to add a track. Ooh, okay, hold on. Property track, is that what I want? Pick a node to animate. The sprite 2D? You are possibly screaming at me not to do things right now. Offset. Open. Okay, no, that doesn't actually. Nearest, linear, and curve. Okay. So that just adds a new track that I can change. Cool. But how do I edit this track? So I want position X to be. Oh. Oh, you can add keyframes, but oh, right. Okay, so if I undo that. Nope, nope, keep that. So position X, it starts off at. Oh, why are my values at weird positions? In handle -25, out handle 25. I don't know what that means, but okay. So insert a key here. I want that to be at say 50 or maybe 30. So I want it to transition from 15 value 15 to value 30. That should be 30. When I play the animation, and then it probably wants to go back to. So how do I copy key, paste key? What is that? Handle mode, free, linear, balanced mirror. Time 2 seconds. Value back to 15. In handle. I'm not sure what these handles do yet. In handle, no description available. Nice. I love it. So how do I play? The handles are for the curve. So if I change that to like -10, what does that actually do? And so if I play. Ugh, that is. Spicy. Little curve icon, the bottom of the animation dock. This one here. Oh, yeah. That's nice. Oh, what is this doing? So that's... Okay, I don't want it to be linear. I want it to be a curve. Now, how do I make it a curve? There. Um, Group tracks by node, snap in seconds. Yes, okay, so these are the handles here. So that's why that, okay, so that's at 15. Ah, that's how you curve it. Oh, nice. Okay. And so what is this? So if I modify this. Oh, that's modifying the curve handle. Okay. That makes sense. In which case, what I kind of want to do is I want it to stab quickly and then kind of like slowly come back. So if I save that and I try and play the whole animation. Oh, that that's not stabbing quickly. Hold on. Stabbing quickly is more like that. The animation is 1 second long now. Yeah, so how am I meant to reach this 2 second? Do I just bring this? Okay. Why is the animation 1 second long? Speed scale 1. Stab. Is it the length of that? Or animation length seconds? Ah. So if I make the animation 6 seconds like that. Okay. So that's what that part is. And so my curves, that is a horrible curve. So quick stab, and then slow, or even let's just say a slow back. So these are the Bezier curves here. Okay. So if I play that now, oh, okay, that's back to 0. That needs to be 15. 15. There we go. Stab! Oh my gosh, that's so far out. That's not meant to be that far. um, so I want my value to be like 30. Okay, so this is how you kind of play with the Bezier curves in the animation. That's cool! How do I just make my scale so much nicer? Because that 0 to 100 is too much. That doesn't change it. The editor is kind of bad. Fair. Okay, so my in handle here is that -10. So my in handle for the beginning of the animation probably doesn't matter, does it? It's the out handle that matters. So the Y in this case, I want my value to be 15. I want my Y to be like curves like 3 times and then just went back to regular keyframes. So when you're saying regular keyframes, are you talking about like individually tracking each frame, or um, so you haven't done this, but or you have done this part, but like you don't work with this part nearly as often, is what I'm hearing. That one wants to be back at 15. And then the X wants to be like negative 0.1. What does that do? And then the Y wants to be like 0. Yeah, I'm kind of starting to agree with you already on this, and I don't even have that. What is this? Snap. 0.003 seconds. Is that the... That might be the distance between each, or... Yeah, it's kind of like the frames per second. Yeah, yeah, that's exactly what I'm wanting to do. That's actually really kind of annoying. It's got promise. It just needs a way to scale the Y. Can you scale the Y? Scale Y axis uh, animation curve editor Godot. For posterity, Control Alt Scroll Wheel does the trick. Control Alt Scroll Wheel. Yo, there we go. That's so much nicer. And then I can do that. Oh, okay. Why is my curve way up there? 25. Okay. Final test. Play. It's a stab. I don't actually want it to be a second long, do I? I want it to be like half a second. 0.5. Let's bring that all the way back there. Bring that all the way over there. That value wants to be 15. Ah, that's not 15. And play. Oh my gosh. This is... Oh, why can't I? Oh, I can't see my in handle there. That's annoying. Unless I like... No. This one. In handle is going to be negative 0.05. No, 0.01. 0.1. There we go. And y can be 0. Okay. Is this going to give a nice stab? That's close enough. Stab. Stab. Do I make it a little bit more? 0.2. Maybe a bit back before the stab. True. So if I bring it down a little bit. That's a little bit too quick, almost. That's actually kind of nice. Yeah, I like it. Cool. Okay, so have a dagger stab, and I want to activate that animation during or once I click, essentially. Looks painful. Looks painful in in that you don't want to be stabbed, or looks painful in that this is painful editing. Value 30. I like exact values. I'm gonna make this exactly 30. Out handle can be 0.16 or even 0.15. There we go. I would kind of like to be able to see the in handle of... Oh, no. No, it doesn't matter. The in handle of that doesn't matter. Cool. Stuff it. That can be fine. 15. As long as that's at 15, that's at 15, that's at 30, and that's at 15. Cool. Dagger stab. I like. Next point, we've got ready. Let's not do that yet. I want an input, so project settings, input map, scroll up, scroll down. I want to add a select or click. And during this, I want the... trying to remember how I did this. So input is action pressed. No, it's not even is action pressed, it's just when it presses. So input dot press, click. Animation player, does that work? No. It's relative. Probably want just pressed for the attack. True, actually, because click is on the release, isn't it? So just... whoops, that's not the one. Ah, what have I done? Just... is action just pressed? There we go. And... oh no, it is here. Animation player dot? No, it's... dot animation player? Oh, wait, I've got incorrect script. So if there there we go, dot play stab. I want a single stab when I click the button. F5, what do we get? Hey! I love it! It stabs! Oh my gosh. Okay, so it waits until the animation is done before it does the next stab. That's good to know. And if I click twice, it doesn't stab twice. Nice! I really need to work on this background eventually. Maybe that'll be the next thing. I don't know. Okay, so have a stab animation. It is not too quick. It's kind of nice though. Mate, you've taught me more than tutorials have in like a few days. You've taught me more in just like an hour on just how to work with a few of these things. I love it. Thank you so much. Okay. Heck, honestly, that's kind of what I wanted to do today, was just get an animation working to be able to stab a weapon. What next? So, have a weapon that's stabbing. I suppose next I would want to... probably not a good idea to go for collisions in enemies just yet. Okay, let me have a look back at the game plan. Gameplay. Pointer-based hack and slash. I mean, it's not exactly hack and slash, it's more like pointer-based stab. WASD movement. Cursor aiming. Click to attack and activate abilities. Scroll between weapons and abilities. I could try the scrolling. So if a character has multiple weapons, then... character has multiple weapons, then that's essentially like being able to scroll between those weapons. There is either that, or I can work on the background. I'll go for the background, I think, actually. It's probably about time I learned about tiling, because using this is kind of ugly. Kenny Tile Tiny Dungeon. So I have... I've got this to work with. Wonder if I want to go for... Okay, so these are essentially the ground areas. If your dagger had an area 2D, you could animate its properties too, like turning it on and off. So your dagger isn't always hurting things. That's a good point. You know what? Making sure the dagger actually works is probably a good next step, you're right. Um, in which case, I also probably want some sort of enemy, don't I? I'll add the area 2D now. So add child node, area 2D. Why is that? This node has no shape, so it can't collide or interact with other objects. That does make sense. Now, the shape that I want. How do I actually add a shape to it? Priority, filter properties. I feel like it should have a shape by default. Collision shape 2D node. Huh. Collision shape 2D. And then the node, a shape must be provided for a collision shape 2D to function. And the shape in this case is gonna be, what in the world is a new world boundary shape? A 2D world boundary, half plane shape, used for physics collision. New segment shape 2D, circle shape, rectangle shape. May as well go for a capsule. How do I rotate that capsule? There we go. 90. Nice. Honestly, that could even just be a rectangle, couldn't it? Just to make it easier on like. I feel like a rectangle would probably be easier on processing, wouldn't it? So let's rectangle shape. Surround the dagger. We'll make it literally be the dagger point, dagger blade. Nice. I hope it doesn't matter that it's kind of tiny compared to the rest of the world. It shouldn't be, right? So we have our area 2D, we have our collision shape. That looks too small. You might be right. Well, I figured like, the blade is oh, you're talking about too small even for like the dagger. What is this? Undo read history mismatch expected 0. I don't really want to undo, I just want to I could make it around like the entire kind of thing. Like that. I don't want to put it on the I feel like the blade should be the one. You know what? Let's go. I'll compromise. I'll do that. um, why is this erroring out on me? Set handle. Usually players prefer forgiving hitboxes. So you reckon like larger essentially? Alright. I'll give it a go and see how it feels. Um, does this... Is this what's causing a bunch of errors, or is it like... don't know. Larger for their own attacks, smaller for enemies. Yeah, that does make sense. That is a good point. I play League of Legends a lot, and I definitely get annoyed whenever someone's attack actually no, that's but then that's player versus player, so that's probably a bit different. Where they want accurate hitboxes so that the player firing it actually is expecting it to hit, and then the player who's receiving it doesn't actually want to be hit. So forgiving is either way. Yeah, okay, that does make sense. So I've got a little stabbing dagger, and when it stabs, it will hit. I want the area to not actually be activated though, do I? So on the ready I guess this is where the ready function comes in. So func ready. I want area 2D dot active? Is there an active? Is there a visible? There is visible, but what is a better property to use? Because I don't want it invisible, I want it inactive. Node 2D, canvas item, visibility. The area has a monitoring property and the collision shape has a disabled property. Interesting. What is monitoring? Oh, crud. What did I press? Monitorable and monitoring. If true, the area detects bodies or areas entering and exiting it. Oh, okay. And so I guess, and the collision shape. So if it's not monitoring, can I like open documentation? Bull disabled. A disabled collision shape has no effect in the world. This property should be changed with object. Okay. Animating the shapes disabled is the correct way. But the area 2D does still want to be kind of active, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay, so you could set both of them to false, and then that way the area 2D is not monitoring anything entering it, and the collision is not acting on anything, but you may actually want something to still happen if the area enters something. Wait, but if the area enters something, or if something enters the area, then isn't that kind of like a collision detector anyway? Tilesheet, camera 2D, where did it go? Open documentation. Try to just understand this monitoring part here. The area detects bodies or areas entering and exiting it. It kind of sounds like they're doing the same thing, like an area and a collision detector or a collision shape. I don't know. I'll go with your suggestion though. Disable the collision shape. I think I do agree with that at least. So area 2D dot 2D slash collision shape dot 2D disabled equals true. And during the animation, we want... Ooh, now this is interesting. So we have a Bezier curve here. Does it matter if I just enable the setting straight away? That's probably easy enough. Can change it later. It will detect new stuff entering and exiting, but not whatever's on top of it as it monitors again. I guess yeah, and I guess it won't interact with other collision shapes. I may have that wrong. Something to look into actually. I'm gonna start making notes, things to research. Area 2D versus collision. Shape, essentially. So, I have a stabbing dagger. I want to play stab when I want it to play stab. I also want to make sure that these keyframes, so animation player, the collision shape disabled. New track for property disabled and insert key. Hold shift when clicking the key icon to skip this dialogue. No, that doesn't sound right. I want to add it into this track, don't I? Also, I don't even need this track. Yeah, that can go. Add a track. Property track. I want the collision shape and I want disabled. So it starts off as true. At position 0. Value is on. No, value is off. Oh, is that what this whole... No, that's stab, that's something different. Okay. And then right at the end of the animation, disabled true is off. Yeah. And then at the end of the animation, it wants to be back on. That sounds right, right? Easing. What does easing mean? I'm not even sure how to view that. Oh, it's on, it's off. It's on, it's off. Perfect. Okay, cool. And if I go to the reset, disabled wants to be on, I do believe, during the reset, doesn't it? So when the... Wait. Yeah. So when the game starts, then reset is disabled, the collision area is disabled. When it starts the animation, it wants to be off. Now, I do want a dummy. So if I go to... I'm going to give myself 20 more minutes and then I think it's about time to head off. Thanks for sticking with me. This is awesome. I love it so much. Tiny dungeon. Tile map. Tiles. There we go. Yeah, Cyclops. I like. Let's... I'll create one more folder. Eventually I'm going to need to start putting these folders together properly, but I'll just create a new folder for each new type of thing that I can think of. So enemies, I'm going to need a new scene. Dummy, or even just enemy. 2D scene, okay. And it is going to need the sprite. So Cyclops sounds like a good idea. Oh my gosh, you are tiny. Transform, you can be at 0, 0. Sprite 2D. Now you are going to need probably the same, aren't you? So you're going to need an... So what happens if I just create a collision shape actually? Node configuration warning only serves to provide a collision shape to a collision object 2D derived node. Please only use it as a child of area 2D, static body 2D, rigid body 2D, or character body 2D to give them a shape. Do I need to start using character body for this guy? Maybe. I'm not sure what the difference between a character body and an area 2D would be, but find that out. Okay, so it does need an area. Or actually, make the root node a character 2D. Can I actually change what the type of the node is? Change type. Perfect. Character body 2D. Actually, does the enemy want to be a character body 2D? That's probably a good question for me. What is this? What does the documentation say? For physics bodies that are meant to be user controlled. Ah, okay. Uh, that is not an enemy. Move objects for fall and slope detection. Depends on the game. Move and slide method, in addition to the general collision detection provided by Physics 2D Move and Collide. This makes it useful for highly configurable physics bodies that must move in specific ways and collide with the world, as is often the case with user control characters. Okay, you can use it for enemies if they're physics based enemies, is that correct? I think. Actually, move and slide isn't exactly physics based, is it? For game objects that don't require complex movement or collision detection, such as moving platforms, animatable body 2D is simpler to configure. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. So something that's supposed to walk on floors, not through walls and whatnot, which an enemy is supposed to do. Slide on ceiling. What the heck? If true, during a jump against the ceiling, the body will slide. If false, it will be stopped and will fall vertically. Ah, okay. That's probably a platformer type thing. 4. Stop on slope. This feels a lot like a platformer type configuration, which, floor layers? It has a motion mode. Oh. I see. So grounded is platformer, floating is probably what we're looking more at. Yeah, okay. Moving platform. What the heck is it talking about there? Platform on leave sets a behavior to apply when you leave a moving platform. By default, to be physically accurate, when you leave the last platform, velocity is applied. Ah. So that's when you're touching a platform, essentially. Okay. Wall minimal slide angle. How does one know that something is a slope? Physics interpolation mode. What do we got? Inherit on and off. Process. Okay. You know what? Best way to find out is through trial and error, right? We have an enemy, we have a sprite 2D. I'll remove that node for now. Why is it no shape, so it can't collide or interact with other objects? Oh, okay. It does want a collision shape. And our shape wants to be a capsule. Let me try capsule. Maybe. Kind of feels more like a rectangle, doesn't it? Let's go with that. There we go. Have a dummy. Doesn't do anything yet, but who knows? Now, collision object disable mode. That doesn't look like anything I need at the moment, I think. Okay, I'll just place this in a scene and see what it does. Dagger, you can be saved for now. So if I put the enemy in there, what actually happens? Stab. Okay, so I can move through the enemy because I don't actually have any collision. The dagger can also move through the enemy because I guess the collision isn't... it's probably not physics-based, or... Okay, how do I see whether... I'm gonna add a... Area 2Ds just monitor stuff, they don't interact with physics. Okay. That's fair. A node 2D, I just kind of want a shape. How do I make a shape? 2D shape that sweeps. You can connect the area 2D's body entered signal to the weapon script. So if I look at that, I have my dagger, I have my script. You're talking about a signal. So we have the area entered. Now what do I want to do with that signal? I kind of want to have some sort of external... Yeah. Body shape entered and body shape exited. The question is, what do I want to do with that signal once or what do I connect it to? What am I signaling? I'll create a little sprite, I think. Actually, yeah. Oh my gosh, that is a massive sprite. Oh, actually, dagger. I want... Oh, what the heck? Oh, hold on. So... Alright, this is about reaching my mental capacity, I think. So, we have a dagger. We have signals, body entered and body exited. We want to be able to do something with those signals, but I want to be able to interact with the outside scene when that signal... or when... Yeah, when that signal is triggered. So I want to somehow connect the dagger, the area 2D's body entered to the enemy, and I'm not connecting the weapon directly to the enemy. That doesn't make sense. A chain of signals. So I could... Oh, okay. So I could create a signal on the dagger. Yeah. Okay, so let's do that first. So connect a script dagger on area 2D body entered. Sure. And then I want to send out a signal, don't I? that emits with the body. Don't need to connect anything to the body it hits. You can just call body.hurt. So the body you're talking about, for example, is the enemy. And so if I look at the enemy's script, create script, attach script, there we go. Oh, yo, it's got some initial stuff already. I don't actually want any UI stuff. Physics process. Oh, interesting. Okay, that can go. Don't need that. Handle jump. Don't need a jump. Don't need to input. Don't need to move at all. That can go. That can all go. So let's say yeah, alright. So func or hurt. How about I give it export health equals 10 or health integer. Health minus equals 1. Yeah. That's not right. Oh, wait. Fire health. Int. There we go. Func ready. Health equals 10. So I have a function, hurt, and I want to listen to when the oh, so there's going to be another body, right? How do I know that that node is going to have the hurt function though? Because yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Hurt. And if I look at my enemy, so the health goes down. I'm not actually sure if I'm going to be able to see the health, so I might as well export var enemy health. Terrible way to do it, I'm sure, but I'm going to do this for now. Probably don't even need the export then in the health. Export var enemy health is a label. Starts off at 10. When he's hurt, minus equals 1. It's labels or animating a whole animation. Okay, yeah, that's actually fair. Okay, so I am doing something potentially right. Dot text equals health equals burp. I think that's how it works. Now, if I go back to my scene, Let's create a... You know what? We already have a label. And I don't think it's even attached to anything. So this guy... Oh, the weapon does have a label, but it probably doesn't need it. No, the character has a label. But he don't need it, does he? Player character. Label can go away. And that's fine. So, back to my example map. I have that label. I want to move it down here. I want to select my enemy. I want to assign that label. Nope, no. Something's not right. Okay, why is that not even... enemy. You know what, let's just initialize it first off. Make sure that the label, that the health is actually initializing correctly. Give that another go. Okay, so it is 10, but it's not doing anything just yet. Why? Go closer. The hitbox isn't moving. It doesn't look like the hitbox is doing anything. Oh, but you're talking... Yeah. I think I see what you're talking about. Oh, wait. Does that mean that the hitbox is over here or something? Visible collision shapes in the debug drop down on the top left. Oh, that's... You are a beautiful person. Okay, so... That's... It's only being enabled and disabled though, isn't it? So it's not necessarily enter... It's kind of like it's already entered the body. Is that what's going on? So, first off, need to fix that. So, collision shape, animation player, add track. Now, how do I get the same curve? Area 2D can be a child of the dagger. Oh, of the sprite. That would make sense. Oh, doop. Collision shape. It's the it's the sprite 2D slash. Let's try that again. Hey, nice. Ah, crud. Still not quite stabbing the guy. Okay, that collision, showing the collision hitboxes makes it so much nicer though, to be able to see what's going on. Now, if I look at the dagger, if has method body hurt, can I print hurting? Oh my gosh. You're right. You are correct. And now it's gonna... Okay, so it's not doing it now. If I start off inside... Oh, that's interesting. It can stab twice. Here we go. So if you get close enough, you can actually just stab it twice. Nice. Oh, that's awesome. Wait, so if you move fast enough, can you like 12, 14, 16? I can't get it more than 2. Unless I get it like at the right angle, maybe? No, I'm not that fast. 23. Oh, I think I did it. 25. You're checking if the script has the method. Yes, that's right. Okay, cool. So animations. I've got a dagger that can stab. It's disabled. I probably need to make sure that I'm not actually able to walk through the enemy. Otherwise, I could just do that. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's cool. Well, um, honestly, I think that's gonna be me for the night. That is so cool though. And thank you so much for your help. I very much appreciate it. Works flawlessly. Oh my gosh. That's so cool. So today, essentially, yeah, I managed to get like. So I started off with a character that was able to move around. I created a dagger, given it a hitbox, an animation to be able to stab, created a dummy enemy to be able to track the health and make sure that we're actually able to stab the enemy. Oh, that's so cool. Debugger, I've got a warning. Debugging session closed. The parameter delta is never used in the function process. If this is intended, prefix it with an underscore. Um, yeah, no, it's not. How about that? You gonna clear that? F5. There we go. Awesome. All right, I'm gonna end it there, but thank you so much. In terms of timing and scheduling, if you're like willing to stick or like pop in every once in a while or like whenever you like, then I'll see if I can start getting some schedule up on Twitch. Not even you, basically anyone that's willing to help or just watch or anything like that. Um, yeah, I'll stick a schedule up. I very much appreciate your help. Like you have been a lifesaver in terms of just getting things working. Yeah, catch you later. And where is the thing? Wow, that's probably. Oh, there we go.